Kerry Gibson. I'm the president of Eco-Century Technologies. I am also working on behalf of United Nations Women within Canada. I was brought up in Williams Lake, BC, in the Caribou. I had a rather magical childhood. My family toured me all around the world. My grandparents lived in England and New Zealand, and I was privileged to see much of our beautifphill world, and it really inspired me to begin to do philanthropic endeavors to support the different issues I saw as I traveled that were brought to my attention by my family. My family brought me up to believe that we really should be community participants, whatever that might be, whether that be reading in care homes or volunteering to teach riding at the Disabled Riding Foundations, which ironically I did before my accident, which changed my life and gave me a renewed perspective. I had a very unique education. We traveled so frequently that my mother often taught me from wherever we were, my grandma's kitchen in New Zealand, or I would go to my cousins' classrooms and learn what they learned. When I went to university, first I studied psychology at SFU, and eventually after my accident, I went to BCIT to study business management. Over the years, I've had innumerable careers. I've had so many interests, and of course, as being an independent woman, I had wanted to provide for myself. So I had become a medic to put myself through university. I taught piano. Eventually, after my psychology degree, I was working as an art therapist with seniors as well as with pre-verbal children within daycare systems, working with social workers and whatnot. That was very inspiring to me, but I was always so interested by sciences. And as a woman of my generation, we were recommended to go into social work and teaching and all those humanitarian efforts, which were wonderful. I was a lifelong student, and that this was the next evolution of my education and my career. And I learned so much from those I worked with, and of course I work on the business end, but you cannot help but pick up some of the altogether intriguing developments and innovations that the science and technology world has to offer. And I realized that I was rather unique in my position because women were nowhere to be found. I would go to tech conferences and I would be the only woman there. I'd be the only one without the black suits, and that drove me further to look at, well, how can we uplift and support women to get into these amazing careers and enable them to not only just get the PhDs in sciences, but to move beyond that, to actually be able to maintain careers. And when United Nations Women reached out to me to support them on various endeavors here in Canada, I found that was the key. That was exactly what I needed. So when United Nations Women reached out to me to expand upon their endeavors in Canada, to work with their platforms and policies and see if we can expand using Canadian resources and supporting Canadian women and youth, I saw it as an opportunity to enable my peers in whatever way. As a woman in STEM, I thought it so important to manifest these possibilities. For instance, I'm speaking at a Creating Connections conference at SFU on May 6th. And at that conference, we are addressing issues like gender bias in sciences and technologies, and what are practical things that we can do to get more women into these kind of careers, because they are lucrative careers, they are inspirational careers, The women are so driven to be creative, and creativity drives innovation. When we don't enable women to have both home lives and full-fledged scientific careers, then we are losing so many resources. That intellectual power is being just washed away. And I think we have a responsibility to our future, and our future children, to enable girls to grow up and be empowered in scientific-based careers. I am so proud to be a Canadian. In fact, so much so that I'm on the board of directors of the Canadian Club, which celebrates Canadian values. And what are Canadian values? Well, it's multiculturalism. We celebrate diversity. We celebrate each other, and we see so many, some people call it cultural appropriation, and others call it sharing, and a unique getting to know your neighbor within Canada, I think, is one of the highlights of this country. And I think we are role models for other countries who are having struggles with immigration and refugees, and here we are with open arms saying, move in, please, we want to support you, we want to enable you, we want you to be your neighbor. The work that I'm doing within Canada, within British Columbia, within Vancouver, is I would love to welcome you all to join in and support me and support this work, because with this work we're supporting our communities and supporting Canadians. It's so imperative to be there for each other and take care of our social fabric. We have an event coming up we will all be attending. It is going to be a magical, beautiful event that is being supported by people from all corners of the earth, are flying themselves in. We have Grammy Award-winning musicians from Africa, from India, from New York, from Montreal, and I know you want to be there. And we have Elizabeth Taylor's jeweler coming to donate a piece especially for this, and you're not going to want to miss out on that special moment. We have community leaders and international experts that are coming from England and from New York in order to share the messages of how to stop gender-based violence. So we are calling this event Not Yet for the Dress. And it is in order to protect these 700 million children globally that are affected by early and forced marriage. Not only that, the LGBTQ community is severely impacted by this travesty. When you are faced with an honorable death or a forced marriage that will make you unhappy for the rest of your life, that decision is almost impossible to make. And we have to be their protectors. We have to protect the vulnerable. And I know that everyone that is watching this is in some way affected by this situation, by gender-based violence, whether it be through family connection or it just touches your heart.